How do you actually know that you've changed? How do you measure it? Not just the sobriety chip or the anniversary post, the before and after. What's the quiet, unglamorous proof that change occurred? Welcome back, beautiful souls, to Softening into Momentum. My name is Miki, and this season is the stories that found me. So, I think this might be the most relatable story in this season, and it's not because everyone has had a phone named Cinderella, but because everyone has had some ordinary object that quietly witnessed who they used to be. I call this one No More Drunk Texts, and I'm going to read it to you right now. I got a new phone this week. An upgrade from an iPhone 11 to the iPhone 16. Thank you, Mommy. I'm grateful to still be on the family plan, which makes me smile to know that my family is still connected in this way. I should really use this device that they pay for to call them more often, but that's a different story. Today, I want to talk about my new phone and the quiet way it entered my life this week. So unassuming and humble. It found its way to my door through a lot of help from my family, my landlord, and my friends. New port, so a new charging cable was required. Check. New size, so a new phone case was ordered. Check. And as I sat there staring at the unopened box of goodies and accessories, I suddenly looked across the room at old phone. Her name is Cinderella. Was Cinderella. She has since been wiped. I realize that. I realize that I've had old Cindy for 8 years. Wow, 8 years. 2 presidential terms. Enough time for a child to go from diapers to 3rd grade. Enough time for me to go from who I was then to who I am now. I think the last time I had to replace my phone was that drunken night where I dropped my old phone in a puddle while getting out of the Uber in front of my ex's apartment. I, quote unquote, lost it right outside our front door without even realizing it. It was pouring that night, sure, but I was drunk. Drunk and testy and flirty in all of the wrong ways. There was an argument that night and the morning after, upon realizing that my phone was gone. Man, that was embarrassing. I remember scouring the outside area in front of that apartment complex, my head pounding and my nose accosted by the smell of dog shit. I was so paranoid that I had stepped in something, but I felt so sick and ashamed that it almost wouldn't have mattered. Losing my phone felt like the end of the world. Most things back then did. It really didn't take much to send me spiraling into my pity party, to the hole of despair in the deepest crevices of myself. My psyche was nothing if not reactive and addicted to the darkness, addicted to the pain, addicted to the poison. And so I walked the mile up to the Verizon store to claim my Cinderella. And here she's been by my side, loyal and true, for the last 8 years. She's seen the very worst of me. She's been dropped during my very worst moments. It's funny, I found myself getting emotional, looking across the room at her, desperately clinging to the faulty charging cable. I have abused her battery by keeping it charged to 100% so obsessively that it's become my habit upon entering any institution to immediately scope out where the wall outlets are. Cinderella knew the password to every dating app, every dwindling bank account in my name, every desperate 2 a.m. Google search. She knew the exact pressure of my drunk thumbs, heavier than my sober ones, fumbling to type out messages that I'd regret. She's been there through every "I'm sorry" text the morning after, and every panicked stare as I waited and waited and waited for them to text me back. The longer they leave me on red, the more mad they must be. I remember this one time I dropped my phone with almost as much force as if I was chucking it to the ground, like it was a basketball. She was so cracked and so sticky and smelly, and has lived through so many dinner tables and bar counters and spilled margaritas and touching it after serving Fireball whiskey on special all night long. Her volume is shot. Her buttons don't work. She barely has the functionality to power off thanks to how stuck that power button is on the side. She's gone to battle for me, living through all of those sneaky DMs and angry drunk text fights and the doom scrolling and the boop bap beep double tap without washing my hands. She has faithfully recorded and stored every embarrassing photo, every incoherent voice memo, every missed call from someone who cared, every alarm that I set with good intentions to drink water before bed that I inevitably snoozed while stumbling home. This new phone, this humble, quiet, sleek, and mature stranger that's sitting here in this unopened box, this new phone will be the very first phone who has never seen me drunk. This phone will never help me send drunk text. Let that sink in. Hey, beautiful souls, it's Coach Miki popping in for just a moment. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know we've spent a lot of time here together. We're exploring self-trust, sitting with the parts of us that we've been taught to hide, softening into who we really are beneath the fear and the noise. And isn't it beautiful that we get this precious time together? But I've always wondered what it might feel like to take all of that and actually live it, walk it together in real time with other people who get it. Well, it's finally here, I'm so excited to open registration for the Softening into Momentum cohort, the founding circle. It's the very first group coaching experience that I have ever led, and it's a chance to bring everything that we've been musing about on this podcast into something tangible, something that you can practice, embody, and explore in real community. Starting August 24th, we'll spend 8 weeks together. There will be weekly live teachings and discussion, guided meditations, and an intimate community circle for connection, accountability, new friendships, and support. If part of you has been listening to this and thinking, I want more than just a podcast, this is that. This is the next doorway in. Registration is live, is open, it's in the show notes. I would love to have you in the room. I'll see you there, beautiful souls. Now, let's get back to the story. I'm not saying that I won't drop my iPhone 16. I'm not saying that I won't touch him without washing my hands, that I'll get fingerprints on him, that I might overcharge him. I'm working on this. As the song goes, somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety and the debilitating fear of losing connection with the virtual world. No, this new phone. He will never have to witness me go through that pain, that anxiety, that doom scrolling, that rumination, that self-deprecation. He'll never meet that watered-down tequila condensation ringlet that's dripping its way down the curved table, making its way down, letting gravity choose its fate. He will never have to be held momentarily in my mouth as I frantically search for the ID in my purse to get into the 4th bar of the day. He'll never fry in the hot sun, charging down to nearly nothing in 45 minutes during a hot summer's day on Bourbon Street. No, I'm not even sure if this phone will ever see Bourbon Street. We don't go there anymore. We don't live there anymore. Not physically, not emotionally, not spiritually. This feels like a momentous first, my first sober phone. Maybe that's why I've been so shy and haven't found a name for him yet. I'm not even so sure he feels like mine. I wiped the data off of Cinderella last night and I cried. Can you believe that? I cried. But hey, can you blame me? I loved her. She never abandoned me. She never rejected me. She never called me a hot mess or an alcoholic. She was always there for me in the mornings when I woke up, right there by my bedside, ready to remind me to face the damage I had done the night before. And if I wasn't ready to face it, she was there to offer solace and some peaceful avoidance in the warm glow of solitaire and Sudoku. She was my enabler and my confessor, my witness and my accomplice. I'll miss her. But getting a new phone feels like a fresh start, a clear, mature, and less sticky start. His volume is strong, his camera is sharp, his battery is young, his data is clean. And my hands are clean too. My mind is clear. My emotions are steady. My new iPhone 16 will capture sunrises instead of last calls. It will hold meditation apps that actually get used. It will send I love you texts that I mean with my whole heart, not just the part that alcohol hadn't numbed yet. It will take pictures that I remember taking. It will set alarms that I wake up to feeling rested, not ravaged. And my new iPhone 16 will never help me send a drunk text. It will never have to. Sometimes the most powerful markers of progress aren't the big milestones that we celebrate, the chips, the sober anniversaries, the months, the before and after photos. Sometimes they're as simple and profound as the realization that your phone, this everyday object that we all take for granted, is experiencing a version of you that past devices never even knew existed. Goodbye, Cinderella. You served me well through both fairy tales and nightmares. Now it's time for a new story. One where I don't turn into a pumpkin at midnight, where I don't lose my glass slipper or my dignity. One where I'm fully present for every moment, fingerprints and all. Maybe I'll call this new phone Charming. Cinderella, 8 years old, cracked, sticky, barely functional by the end, and I cried, wiping her data and saying goodbye. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite stories that I've written, and got me a little emotional reading back. I want to sit with it for a second, because I think it might surprise some people. Maybe you'll ask, why would you grieve a phone? Because Cinderella wasn't just a phone. She was a stand-in for every object, every relationship, every place that holds a record of an old self. As I wrote, she knew the exact pressure of my drunken thumbs. She witnessed every 2 a.m. frantic, paranoid search, every panicked wait for a text back, every I'm sorry sent the morning after. And here is the thing that I really want to name. This essay doesn't villainize any of that. It doesn't judge that. It doesn't shame the past Miki. It actually thanks her. That distinction matters more than almost anything else that I've said this whole season. I think about how differently we talk about our old selves when we're trying to punish them versus when we're trying to thank them for getting us here to this point at all. There's a line in there that's hiding that gave me chills about 8 years being long enough for a child to go through diapers to 3rd grade. I like measuring transformation that way. Not just in sobriety and anniversary time and day counts, which is real and matters, but in mundane time, ordinary time. The kind of time that passes whether or not you're marking it with a chip or a stone or a candle. Sometimes the proof of change isn't the big milestone. Sometimes it's just, I got a new phone, and it's never gonna watch me do that to myself again. And lastly, there's the body piece. My hands are clean too. I want to underline that with my imaginary pencil because so much of the work I talk about isn't just mental. It's not just a mental change, a reframe, a new thought, a better story that you tell yourself. It's literally in the body, the nervous system, the literal physical residue of a life lived differently. New phone, clean hands, steady hands. This is recovery that you can feel, not just recovery that you can explain to someone. Here is your closing reflection, beautiful soul. What's the object in your life that's quietly witnessed your own transformation? And if it could speak, what would it say? If this story touched something in your own history, either with drinking or with any version of yourself that you're grateful to have outgrown, you are so welcome inside the Meta Momentum Sangha. It's a free community that I have built, hosted on School, for people in every stage of that transformation. And Permission to Be, our 8-week transformative journey, holds space for exactly this kind of witnessing at your own pace whenever you're ready. The Softening into Momentum podcast is lovingly curated, created, written, edited, and produced by me, Miki Byrne, with accompanying Soundbath frequencies by my good friend, Static. If you would like to dive further into his incredible musical work, please go to YouTube or wherever you stream your music at Static is Noise. Permission to Be is an 8-week mindful sobriety and self-trust journey back to yourself. It's rooted in compassion, nervous system awareness, Buddhist philosophy, and lived experience. You don't need to fix yourself. You need a gentler way home. Learn how to join in the show notes. Thank you so much for softening into this journey with me. Until we meet again, namaste.